Who that? Who that? Who that said they're going to beat them Saints? I don't know, but we getting ready to do a mock draft. We are in our team mock draft series. We are on episode 29 of that series. Who that nation? We headed to New Orleans. We are going to do a mock draft for your New Orleans Saints. Let's dive right into the action. We're going to select New Orleans. We got 7 rounds already picked. We're going to drop this down to fast, keep everything at default, and let's enter the draft. We have 8 picks, starting with pick 29. That comes from San Francisco by way of another team. Maybe the Dolphins, maybe the Broncos. This is where my Niners will be selecting. But this was one of the picks that we gave up in a trade for Trey Lance, which still hasn't materialized for us yet, but it's coming. Don't worry about it. It's coming. Okay, guard, center, defensive line, cornerback are our needs. There are any guards or centers. There is a corner, Emmanuel Forbes, Cam Smith. There is a defensive lineman, Mozzie Smith. Now we run a 4-3. Mozzie Smith is 6'3", 223. And they got him listed as a nose tackle. So that is a defensive tackle in a 3-4. It doesn't quite fit what we want to do on the defensive line. If we're looking for interior, which I don't think we need, I think we need guard and center as depth, but I don't think we need them as starters. I think our starting offensive line, Trevor Penning, Andrews Pete, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, Ryan Ramczyk, I think that's a really, really good starting 5. So would I draft Osiris Torrance here? Only if I think he's going to beat out Andrews Pete and Cesar Ruiz. And I don't think he's going to do that. So for that, guard and center are out. Defensive line is out at this particular point. I feel like if we go best player available at need, that's corner Emmanuel Forbes. 6'1", 166, a little bit light. Very skinny, very thin. But he's a ball hawking type of corner. And this team has a lot of corners as well. We know Marshawn Lattimore is a dog. We got Paulson Adebo, brought in Lonnie Johnson. Alontae Taylor is a name that I really, really liked. I was excited about him coming out in the, I was excited about him coming out in the 2022 draft, selected in the 2nd round. Bradley Roby, Wiley, veteran. Isaac Yiadom, veteran. Do we necessarily need, I don't know if the needs are accurately represented here. Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, Tono Pasino, Peyton Turner. This team's got a lot of studs. It looked really good. I mean, you can get an every down edge like a Felix Azuma. Have him learn under Cameron Jordan. Provide you some depth in the pass rush. Because I don't necessarily know if you need corner right now. It's possible the Saints could trade out of the 1st round. They don't find the value there. There is one trade that someone is offering, and it's the Broncos, but that's to move all the way back to 67, which is taking me out of the first round and out of the second round if we're talking about recouping picks. Now, I have a second round pick 40, which is absolutely fine, but moving back all the way to 67, unless you're going to give me 67 and 68, which they will. Oh, you'll give me 108 too? Yeah, you know, because that's crazy. Give me a third round next year. You won't give me a second round in 2025. But do we need 3 third round picks? Could we use 67, 68 and then have 71? So we've got 3 picks in a 5 pick span. I think that could be a good option, because I just don't think the value is here in the first round at pick 29 for what it says our perceived needs are. Now, maybe you do think that Osiris Torrance can come in and beat Andrews Pete. 29, he'll be 30 in the midst of the season. He doesn't turn 30 until November. But you got a former first round pick, a really good veteran who's been on this offensive line for a long time. I don't see a rookie coming in and beating a veteran like that. You know what? Let's make this trade. Let's see what happens and see who's available at 40. Let's get 67 and 68. Let the Broncos come up and get who they want to get. We'll get 3 picks in a 5 pick span. We still have pick 40 in the second round. Just that the value isn't there to waste a first round pick on. If we're being completely honest, the value isn't there. I mean, you could take Anton Harrison, but that's letting me know that you've already lost faith and don't believe in your first round pick from last year, Trevor Penning, unless you're planning on moving on from Ryan Ramczyk sometime in the near future. I mean, it would make sense. This New Orleans Saints team puts heavy stock into the offensive line. Eric McCoy was a second round pick. Everyone else, Trevor Penning, Andrews Pete, Cesar Ruiz, and Ryan Ramczyk, were all first round picks of the New Orleans Saints. So this team does put a heavy emphasis on that position. And again, unless you're planning on moving on from Ryan Ramczyk, who's only 28. Again, I don't see that either. Saints fans, I would definitely appreciate you guys sounding off in the comment section. I don't think the value is there at 29, at least in this particular instance with how the board fell. Maybe if Brian Brzee was still on the board, I would take him, for our defensive line. Definitely put him at tackle next to Kalen Saunders. So if Brian Brzee was available, I'd look at taking him at 29. But with him not being available, there aren't any corners like a Deonte Banks that are here that I would say a Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, where I'm like, oh yeah, the value is absolutely a must at this position to take him. My only other thought is eventually moving on from Marcus Lattimore for contractual issues, cost savings, as far as money. This is tough. Because you could take Emmanuel Forbes, but is that really a position I need? And does he help you immediately being a first-round pick? Unfortunately, all of the wide receivers are gone. I do believe Chris Olave needs a running mate. I don't believe that's going to be Michael Thomas. Yeah, I would want to get back in before 40, but let's do it. Let's make the trade. I just don't see the value there. So I think trade back, get some more picks, definitely add some depth. All right, let's resume the draft. Okay, on the clock. Josh Downs went right before my pick. See, they took the tackle, Anton Harrison. Philly took Forbes. Makes sense for them. Cam Smith came off at 32. Yeah, I saw Jahmyr Gibbs was still available. I was wondering if he would also be here at 40. I think that would be a really good option. So we don't know what's going on with Alvin Kamara, and it's the same type of player. So now at 40, I feel like now we can take Adetomiwa Adebawore. And he's listed as an edge. But again, I've said in other videos, at 6'2", 282 with the explosiveness that he has, he can definitely play some defensive tackle. He has some versatility on the interior. He can move up and down that defensive line. So let's go Adetomiwa Adebawore here at pick 40. Give us some help on that defensive line. And now we move into the meat of our draft, where we have pick 67, pick 68, and pick 71. So we got 3 picks in a 5-pick span. I think one of those picks can be corner Julius Brents. I think he offers us something a little bit different than what we have already as far in terms of his size, how he plays the ball, his willingness to tackle. So I think Julius Brents at 67 is a really good option there. If we want to look at wide receiver and giving Chris Olave a good running mate, I think Tank Dell from Houston is a really, really good option. Good route runner, solid speed, and we know he's not coming in to be a number 1. So Tank Dell at 68, I think gives us another receiver in the building who is shifty, can make things happen, can make plays. So we love that there. And then on the clock at 71, we can take a look at guard and center. Luke Weipler is here. I know that would be really, really good value for this particular pick. We have Eric McCoy and no other centers. We got a few other guards, but no guards behind Cesar Ruiz. So, I mean, you can wait maybe until 115 and get a Chandler Zavala or a Drew Scruggs. Andrew Voorhees is here. He could be a good option as far as guard because he's going to have to redshirt. because he recently tore his ACL at the scouting combine. So he's not going to be playing for 2023, but you draft him, get him in the building because you know of what his skill set is. And then maybe 2024, you move on from Andrews Pete and bring Andrew Voorhees in to take over that guard spot. Let's see. I feel like at some point you're going to have to address the linebacker position. Definitely for depth, and DeMario's 34. Still playing at a high level because he's so athletic, but eventually we're going to need to think about moving on from the veteran. Siaki is a nose tackle, so that's not what we need. Ooh, wait a minute now. Don't know what's going on with Alvin Kamara. Brought in Jamal Williams, that's our power. Dwayne Washington and Eno Benjamin. Again, I think one of the things that any offense needs is speed. We've got speed at the wide receiver position. We've got Chris Olave. We've added Tank Dell. I think at some point we need to add speed to the running back room. And if Devon A-Chain is on the board at 71, I want to take him. I like that. All right, pick 115 in the 4th round. We can get our guard, rotational guard, backup guard, Chandler Zavala from North Carolina State. No brainer. 146 here in the 5th round. We can get defensive lineman Moro Ojomo. We got Adetomiwa Adebare, who can play some inside out for us. And then we get Moro Ojomo. They have him listed as a 3-4 defensive end. I think he can also play. He played everywhere. He played outside of the tackle. He played over the tackle. And he played in the B gap. I did say we need to look at linebacker, and Dorian Williams is still here. And I like that a lot. So yeah, Morrow may not be a fit. I feel like we probably could throw him in at defensive tackle. But we already got, again, Adetomiwa. So let's go linebacker and get Dorian Williams. 3 picks left, 165, 227, and 257. Safety, we got Marcus May, Tyrann Mathieu, Jonathan Abram. I really like Smoke Monday. Young guy, still growing and still developing. If we want to go defensive end, 4-3, guy who's been shooting up draft boards. Are they going to stand him up? He is a little bit light, but at 6'2", 242, Jose Ramirez could be a guy that you bring in for Hoko inside-outside versatility. I'm going to go Jose Ramirez. I don't think I've taken him in any draft, but I like what he would be able to bring on this defensive line. Let's go Jose Ramirez at 165. 2 picks left. We've taken care of a lot of our needed positions. Now we're looking to add some flavor, some flair, some depth. See who we have. Could we get a quarterback? Maybe a Dorian Thompson Robinson. Somebody really athletic. Could probably mix in like you do a Taysom Hill. But would you do that because you already have a Taysom Hill? I don't think so. Here, 227. Again, we've got our guard depth. We can also get center depth. We can take Jake Andrews from Troy. Here, 227. Maybe we can go another linebacker and get Cam Jones. Get another edge if we needed to. It's a lot of options. Could go another wide receiver. Is this Brian Edwards from Raiders? Brian Edwards? Okay. Young guy with options. I think Olave, Michael Thomas, Traquan Smith, Keith Kirkwood, no. Rashid Shaheed, no. Kirk Merritt, K'Wan Baker. So we get Tank Dell. I think you can get a Ronnie Bell. And now at least you know you got 2 young wide receivers coming in, pushing the guys in front of them, and both of them have a really, really good chance of making the roster. And we just want to make sure that Derek Carr has the weapons that he needs to be a really, really good quarterback in this system. Let's get another receiver. Let's go Ronnie Bell. And if our center is still there at 257, which he is, we'll go Jake Andrews and we'll lock it up. Okay. So they gave us a B- for the trade. Yeah, we could have gotten more, but I feel like it wasn't realistic to fleece them. I think we got 2 back-to-back third-round picks. They gave us 3 picks in a 5-pick span, which I think is more than enough. So we move out of the first round, pick up some additional picks. With our first pick in the second round, we take a defensive lineman Adetomiwa Adebawore from Northwestern. In the third round, pick 67, we get corner Julius Brents from Kansas State. The very next pick, we get wide receiver Nathaniel Tank Dell from Houston. 3 picks later at 71, we get running back Devon A-Chain from Texas A&M. Round 4, pick 115, we get guard Chandler Zavala from North Carolina State. Round 5, pick 146, we get linebacker Dorian Williams from Tulane. Round 5, pick 165, we get edge rusher Jose Ramirez from Eastern Michigan. Round 7, 227, we get wide receiver Ronnie Bell from Michigan. And then our last pick, round 7, pick 257, we get center Jake Andrews from Troy. Who Dat Nation? Tap in with your boy Mose. Let me know in the comment section what you feel about this draft, what you like, what you don't like, if anything, and what you would do differently if you were making draft selections for your New Orleans Saints. Again, love interacting with you guys in the comment section. So sound off and let me know your thoughts. If you are new to Mose Knows, welcome. I appreciate your time and attention. Do a couple of things before you head on out. 1, become a part of the Mose Knows fam. Once your family, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Just know that you are loved by at least one person every day. Good days, bad days, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Smash that subscribe button. Take another 2 seconds at that bell icon so that you get notified every time new content drops right here at Mose Knows, like the next episode in the Team Mock Draft series. Love y'all. Catch you later. Peace.